We begin with breaking news. News that the world, not just Europe, but the world has been keeping an eye on. The official results of the historic EU referendum are out, and contrary to early poll projections, British people have opted to leave the European Union. Let's get further details from Arirang's Hye-sung, who's at the news center. Hye-sung, so it was Brexit after all.
Good afternoon, Daeun. The results are out, and Britons have decided to leave the EU, 52 to 48%, with nearly all 382 districts reporting. The turnout so far is higher than the last general election at 72%, even with many parts of the country facing terrible weather conditions on Thursday. Coming up to Election Day, the Remain camp had been quietly confident of a win, with London, Scotland, and Northern Ireland largely voting to remain, but Northern and Eastern England both went strongly for leave. The vote to leave will certainly send shockwaves throughout Europe and the rest of the world. Uncertainty about Britain's future relationship with the EU, its largest trading partner, could push the UK into a recession, with the IMF declaring that it would knock 5.5% off the UK's GDP. It could also have a negative effect on Korea, which sends automobiles and electronic goods to the UK under the Korea-EU Free Trade Agreement. Politically, calls for David Cameron, who called the referendum and led the campaign to remain in the EU, to resign could grow and potentially trigger a general election.
So what happens now that they've decided to leave? I hear it'll take at least several years for the UK to completely exit the EU.
Well, in spite of the results, today's vote doesn't mean the UK can leave the EU right away. Britain could negotiate a new treaty to replace the terms of EU membership and hash out issues like trade tariffs, migration, and the regulation of everything from cars to agriculture. But this process could take anywhere from between 5 to 7 years, and during that time we can expect further political debates and lengthy renegotiations of trade and diplomatic deals with the EU and other countries. The Leave voters will likely demand a tightening of borders to cut down on immigration, which was one of the main issues of this referendum. Also, the Brexit vote is not legally binding, and there are a few ways it could theoretically be blocked or overturned. But it clearly shows the will of the British people, and now there will be plenty of mudslinging among the political leadership in the country. Back to you, Daeun.